Empowered Nurses. It's Lori Brown, nurse attorney with empowerednurses.org and yournurseattorney.com. And today my special guest is Amy Davis. And Amy is the owner of the law offices of Amy M. Davis, sorry. And Amy is a friend of mine. We've known each other for years, but she's also a phenomenal attorney. She got a huge verdict just recently for a gentleman who really deserved it. And she does personal injury as well as medical malpractice. So I brought Amy to you today to introduce her to you, to talk about what happens if you get in a car accident, because it's not something that we routinely know what to do. So I thought Amy could share her expertise with you. So welcome, Amy.
All right. Thank you, Lori. It's a pleasure to be here today and to talk to all of you. When you get into a car accident, there's a lot that you forget to do, and that's normal. You aren't thinking about, what if I have to file a lawsuit later? But if you can remember, the first thing you want to do is you want to call the police. Make sure that, first of all, that you're not bleeding anywhere, that you're okay. Hopefully, if you are conscious, you're able to make a phone call the police, report the collision, and then just assess your body, assess your situation. If you are in the middle of a roadway, if it's possible, you want to get to the side. The last thing you want is for another collision to occur or for you to get out of your vehicle and to be hit again.
And as nurses, your first instinct is going to be, is the person in the other car okay? But you've got to think about yourself first. And be careful of what you say to somebody else, because you could make an admission that you don't want, right?
Yes, you could. Definitely use the you're in an airplane, you put your oxygen bag on first mentality, like Lori was talking about. But you want to make sure that no matter if you think you're hurt or you don't think you're hurt, you need to seek medical attention. A lot of the time, we think we're fine, and we're not fine. I would say probably 80% of my traumatic brain injury cases, the person thought they were okay at the scene, and they were not assessed for concussion even at the hospital. So sometimes you really need to advocate for yourself as well when you go to an emergency room.
Because after you have a car crash, your adrenaline is on high, and it makes you feel like you're okay, because you've got all that cortisone released, and it's making you feel, oh, I got to take care of this, and I'm okay, and we all think we're superhuman, and this is not the time to be superhuman. Now, we're not advocating to have a lawsuit or anything like that by any means, but if you were hit and it wasn't your fault, then let's make sure you have the help that you need and preserve what you need to, so you can have the best case going forward.
I agree. And even if it was your fault, the first thing you want to do is always take care of yourself and your health. So get to an emergency room, call your family doctor, at least get an appointment scheduled if you really think you're okay. And then if things move along and you do find out you are more injured than you originally thought, then you want to make sure you keep track of all your medical treatment, because a lot of times the people that will call you, insurance companies afterwards, will want to try to get your case settled very quickly. So don't let those people put pressure on you. You make sure you are okay before you ever think about accepting a settlement.
And there's no hurry. There's no hurry at all. There's each state has a different time frame in which you can file a suit. In Indiana, it's a full 2 years. So you don't waive your rights. Something can happen down the road, and you don't know it, and that's all you'd get.
Yes, exactly. So you do have time. Don't ever let an insurance company pressure you into settling early. And if you're worried about it, call an attorney. At least you can get advice. You can check on my website. There's a list of things that you can do after a car collision, just to make sure you're on the right track and you're collecting the right things, you're taking care of yourself.
So what else can they do when they at the scene, when they find out, or after it happens and they're kind of shook up? What do you do next?
I think a lot of time you're gonna have that adrenaline like Lori was talking earlier. If you are okay and you think of it, you could take a picture of damage. Again, I don't necessarily know if that's something you're going to think of in the moment. But again, I think the biggest issues are make sure you are as safe as you possibly can be. To get to the side of the road if you can. Call the police and make sure you tell the police everything that you remember about what happened.
So what do you do if the person leaves the scene? What do you do?
Don't chase them. Make sure you stay where you are. Do what you can at that moment to, think about what their vehicle looked like. And if you have the opportunity as they're driving away, snap a photo of their license plate. The last thing you want to do is to try to chase them. That's only going to make things worse. Do what you can to give the best description of that vehicle to police as you possibly can.
That's really helpful. Okay, so once you call the police and you get checked out, then what do you do?
Then just monitor your treatment. Make sure you continue to do better. In my practice, I handle cases at every stage. So even if you just had an emergency room visit and just a few follow-up visits with your primary care physician, I sometimes handle those cases too. So there isn't really a case that's too small if you do want legal representation. Some of them you will be able to handle on your own, and if you call me to talk to you about it, I'll let you know if yours is a case that you can do that with. I don't want to be taking anybody's money who doesn't need me to take their money to help them.
And that's why, the only people that I bring you on these videos are people that I trust and people that I know and people who I would hire myself. And, I've worked with Amy on doing some legal nurse consulting for cases, and she's very, upfront and ethical about things. And she's more than willing to talk to you and to help you, and has lots of resources on her website. So, Amy, how can people contact you if they need you?
You can find me online at IndyInjury.com. My email address is Amy, A-M-Y, at IndyInjury.law. And I said .com. That's not right. It's .law. So it's IndyInjury.law. And then my telephone number is 317-428-2082. You can call or text that number.
Great. Well, thank you for being here, Amy, and thank you for sharing your knowledge, because it can happen to any one of us. A car accident is not something we plan, and it can happen at any time, and knowing what to do will help you. And just, again, take care of yourself and be safe. Until next time, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.